Being responsive to changing consumer demands is how the largest companies stay on top of a shifting market, and it's how you can too, no matter your company size. Hi, I'm MarketingSherpa reporter Courtney Eckerle here at the MarketingSherpa Media Center at IRCE. And with me, I have Mark Brohan, who is the VP of Research for Internet Retailer. Hi, Mark.
Hi, how are you?
So tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I was the founding editor of Internet Retailer magazine way back at the dawn of the desktop age in 1998. So in our capacity as researchers of the marketplace, we put out several digital and database and print research publications that track the growth of the industry, this year included. So across the board, we measure the US online retail market as well as most of the global markets as well, the mobile commerce, social commerce space, and also the leading vendors of the marketplace. So we try and keep our ear to the industry, spot what the trends are, and then measure that in terms of metrics like annual web sales growth, so we can put things into perspective for our readers who are the professionals here at IRCE.
So tell us a little bit, what are some trends that you've seen and also maybe some challenges in your research?
Well, there's a couple of things. This year in 2014, online retailing grew at about 15.7%. Our top 500 US, which are the biggest retailers like Target, who just spoke, Amazon, Walmart, and 497 others, they grew slightly faster than about 16.2%. So about in line with the market, just slightly ahead. In comparison, total retail sales last year grew by 3.5%, so to put those two numbers into perspective, e-commerce grew 5 times last year faster than stores and total retail. That is about the way the market's been trending for the past 4 or 5 years. So the numbers are trending upward, but it's been a steady increase. No big surprise there. The big surprise, and what most of the people here are looking at and thinking about, are things like the fact that mobile commerce and social media and industry consolidation are very much top of mind. So for instance, smartphones weren't even around in 2008. In 2009, they first popped up. By 2010, that is a mainstream technology that began to affect retail sales. Fast forward a few more years, the iPad appears. Next thing you know, mobile is suddenly driving 5%, 10% of a retailer's website traffic, and that becomes sales. What that put in place, and what was expedited by the iPad and other Android tablets, is the fact that mobile now accounts for almost 1/4 of all e-commerce sales. That's how fast you saw the sea change in e-commerce, so it's a mobile world. What that means is now it's an anywhere, anytime customer driven by mobile, and they frankly don't care where the transaction is, when it is. They want to shop how, when, where, why they shop. So the biggest challenges, or one of the biggest challenges for retailers across the board, be they retail chain, web only, brand manufacturer, or an old-fashioned direct marketer, is they need to figure out how that shopper is coming to their e-commerce site to meet the needs. And it's not easy. These guys have had 15, 16 years to get desktop commerce right. They know how to do paid search, or they should. Natural search, they know how to do, or they should. Email marketing, they know how to do, or they should. But when a guy begins his transaction on the phone, shelves it for a bit, goes to work, picks it up at lunchtime, then gets called away because the boss wants actual work done, and they finish at night when the kids are in bed, that could be a mobile, desktop, mobile transaction again. All the customer wants is, I want to finish it, I want a clean experience, and I want error-free shipping. You do that for me, I might come back and see you again. If you don't, then that means there's challenges for the retailer to have to try and figure out, and that is one of the things that represents one of the bigger challenges that the marketplace of online retail is looking at today. The next big two are one I've alluded to, which is mobile commerce. It's becoming quickly 1/4 of all e-commerce volume for the industry. Apple gets 60% of its transactions online from mobile. Not surprising because of the App Store and iTunes, but QVC, the TV people, 40% of all transactions that go to QVC.com are from a smartphone or a tablet. And that was not the case just 3 years ago. So you're seeing this quantum shift in how mobile is not just driving how people are shopping online. I personally interviewed Crate and Barrel. Crate and Barrel, you may not have heard of them, they're here in Chicago. They're kind of higher end furniture. Typically you might put them on your registry if you're getting married, and they had kiosks in their store that of course were web synced. So you could start your transaction on your bridal registry, if you will, on the kiosk at home, go into the store, and sure it was web enabled, and the store associate was right there to kind of help with the kiosk. I can pick up where I began on the web there. Now, Crate and Barrel tells us they're getting rid of these store kiosks that maybe boomers grew up with. It's all being replaced by their mobile app because the mobile app has it all. So now the goal for Crate and Barrel, as one example, is they're becoming an app-driven mobile strategy because the registry begins there. So you bring the app to the store, show that to the store to kind of help you finish out, and then maybe you finish out at home. So that's just one example of one retailer trying to deal with the shift in mobile commerce. Social commerce is the same way. When Facebook began kind of coming on as something mainstream, the retailers thought, oh, marketing channel, branding channel. Those days are long since past, and now Facebook has monetized Facebook, and it has to be a savvy retailer who understands how to use the Facebook ad modules to drive web sales, just like they have to be entirely up to date with what Google is doing with paid search. So social media is now Pinterest and Twitter and YouTube and Facebook, and 97% of our top 500 have a presence on those channels, but the bigger challenge is how do I use those effectively to not just drive my e-commerce sales, but also kind of integrate with my whole shopping experience, and it's a constantly evolving ballgame. So retailers, in addition to trying to keep up with just the day-to-day episodes, if you will, of running a website, now they have to kind of meet with this anywhere, anytime shopper. They've got to come to grips with, they've got to be mobile, and then something want to stay in the game, and the same thing with social commerce. So in a nutshell, those are the three biggest things we've seen kind of change how online retailers are reacting, kind of what they do as a business model to meet with the shifting web shopper demands, so to speak.
So it sounds like the only thing that it's really safe to assume in online retail is that it's moving very quickly all the time.
Well, it's always moved quickly, it's the web, but the web changes. The pace of change is becoming ever more popular now, and more so. So Target.com just gave a fascinating keynote address. They talked about how they had prepared for the launch of Lilly Pulitzer day in, day out for 6 months, until they had all the bases covered, and one problem way down in an app checkout stalled the site, and next thing you know, Facebook, Twitter is lighting up like a pinball machine because Target.com is unresponsive. That's how fast this shifts. That's how fast these retailers have to cope with this, and you always have to be thinking ahead, and most of these guys are, but sometimes even thinking ahead, you never know because something's going to be here just like that.
Well,
always constant change.
Thank you so much for your time, Mark, and sitting down with me.
Okay, thank you for having us, we appreciate it.
Thank you. For more tips, tricks, and marketing case studies, visit MarketingSherpa.com.